After having a few days off, I'm back today. Looking behind us, you can kind of tell we're in a small historic town in Alabama. In fact, we're in Greenville, Alabama, which is about 30 miles outside of Montgomery, where I live. Today, we are going to add another episode into our true crime series. Today, I'm going to tell the story of Sherry Lynn Marler, a 12-year-old little girl who lived right here in Greenville, who disappeared without a trace a little more than 30 years ago.
Missing someone.
Today, as I said, we are in Greenville, Alabama, which sits right in the heart of Butler County. This is the Butler County Courthouse here in front of us. Greenville is just your typical small town with its southern charm. The official population of Greenville, Alabama is 8,000 people, somewhere where you probably wouldn't expect a very serious crime to take place. Today, here in Greenville though, we're gonna go back in time, back to the year 1984, which coincidentally is the year I was born. So just over 35 years ago now, right here in small town Greenville. Of course, this small town looks a little different. Obviously, it has grown over the years. A lot of it's still the same though. I can just about guarantee these houses were sitting here in 1984. This one, they've even had to put up some wood posts to keep it up. It's falling down. Something about these houses like this I absolutely love. It was June the 6th of 1984 when a gentleman by the name of Raymond Stringfellow drove into town. He had to do some business at a local bank. He brought a stepdaughter with him, Sherry Lynn Marler. They came from their home right outside of downtown Greenville into town so that he could go into the bank and sign some papers. In 1984, this building here, which is now an attorney's office, was the First National Bank of Greenville, Alabama. Raymond parked right here in front of the bank in one of these vacant parking lots right here. Raymond stepped up as if he was heading into the bank before turning to look at Sherry crossing the street. And that was the last time Sherry Lynn Marler was ever seen. About 15 minutes passed and Raymond had finished signing his paperwork. He come out of the bank to his truck where Sherry Lynn Marler was not. He looked around, he didn't see her anywhere. It was at that point Raymond crossed the street to head over to the gas station to look for her. Obviously, you know from what I've already said, she wasn't there. He walked into the gas station looking for her, walked out of the gas station looking around for her, hollering her name as loud as he could at the top of his lungs. Sherry! This was the Chevron. I don't know where the gas pumps were. There's no remnants of any of that out here. I mean, you can clearly tell at one point this was a service station. The funny thing is, no one inside of the gas station or anyone else walking around saw anything. No one saw anybody snatch her or grab her, or at least no one has come forward to say they saw anything. In front of a bank and a major gas station, which is right across the street, no one saw a thing. This was it. The bank's right there where Raymond was, and right here was the Chevron. And the last time anyone saw her, she was walking across the street right here. When he had no sight of her and got no response from yelling her name out through the town, first he then called his wife Sherry's mom, Betty, to see if maybe she had run down to where Betty was working. Betty said no, she hadn't seen her. And then he called the police. And that's when their nightmare began. A search was initiated. All of this area was blocked off by the police. People went door to door searching and looking for Sherry Lynn Marler. And it's not like she just blended in with everyone. She was more of a tomboy type girl. She would have been very noticeable had anyone seen her. It wasn't long after that when police put out a missing child alert, but there was no trace of Sherry Lynn Marler anywhere to be found. Over the course of the next few months, after the disappearance of Sherry Lynn Marler, the missing persons case would go through a bunch of ups and downs. In the months that followed, 3 different people came forward who said they were certain, absolutely positive, that they saw her. Each time, the witness who said they saw her described her being with the same person. A 50-ish year old male with a husky build. All 3 sightings, the witnesses described that man exactly the same to the T. One of the witnesses who claimed to have saw her said that they seen her in St. Stephen's, Alabama, which is about 2 hours north of here in Greenville. Another witness said that they saw her at a truck stop in Georgia. That witness said she heard Sherry Lynn call the man that she was with BJ. And then the third witness said that they saw her at a mall in New Orleans, Louisiana. All 3 witnesses described Sherry Lynn Marler the same exact way. They said basically she's wearing the same clothing. They said that she appeared to be upset. She appeared to be disheveled and dazed. In all 3 circumstances, it was described exactly the same. Many years passed with no new reports, no new sightings. No one heard anything. In 2003, unfortunately, Raymond Stringfellow, Sherry's stepfather, passed away, never knowing what happened to Sherry and living out the rest of his life with the guilt of what happened on that tragic day in 1984. Her mother, Betty, is still alive and continues searching for her to this day. There's Facebook pages about Sherry Lynn Marler. Her disappearance has been broadcast in missing ads and unsolved mystery shows. She's done everything she can to find Sherry Lynn Marler and bring her home. The police and the family believe that she was abducted by a non-family member, possibly for their sick own personal reasons, or maybe she was sold into a human trafficking ring somewhere. They have sat down with age progression detectives and artists and produced what they think she would look like today if she were still alive. Looking at this age progression photo of what she might look like now. If any of you have any information, or you have seen her, or maybe you just know something about the disappearance of Sherry Lynn Marler, I will put a phone number right down here. You can contact law enforcement or the Greenville Police Department and let them know. That is it. That's going to do it for this episode on the disappearance of Sherry Lynn Marler. I want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully one day this case can be solved and either bring Sherry home or at least have some closure for her family. Thank you all. I will see you again tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to enter the contest to win an Amazon gift card, you can check out the links below. And if you want to help support the channel and all of our travels, you can check out the links below for that as well. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Missing someone.